And hello everybody, welcome to the game. Looks like the stream is working. I wanted to make sure I had a few extra minutes to jump on that. So we're going to give a few moments for people to log on. So you can do it through the app or on Google, on an Android or iOS, or if you want to open a web page to kahoot.it right there. Use the join code, and we'll be starting here in a few moments. Our topic today is IPv4 subnetting, and I got to tell you, I'm excited because I went through the questions. Actually, I created the questions, about 13, 14 questions. They're all pretty tight, really good. And I had some help from Trevor and also from Kelvin, who are the two admins on the Discord server. They got a sneak peek at it yesterday just to make sure that they were in line. And those guys are smart, by the way. So I'm excited. I'm very excited about this. This is going to be a good test to see whether, where you're at with subnetting and IP addressing. And it's also going to give you an idea whether or not you need to look at it a little bit more seriously as far as studying it. And also, if you're an expert, man, join us. We're going to have these safe names. It's all good. And also, just as a heads up, if you could all just confirm, I guess I should have checked this out a few minutes ago. If you can hear me, just say, yes, we can hear you loud and clear, or yes, we can hear you, and that'd be great. Otherwise it would look like this. With no noise. Okay, thanks. All right, I'm still waiting on a new computer that I've ordered, and it's gonna be super fun. But meanwhile, I do my production work, creating videos on one machine, and then I swap it all out and have this other desktop machine that has the bare minimum for streaming, and that's what we're streaming on right now. All right, I'm gonna give it a few more moments to get everybody logged in. It is great to have you, and yeah, amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So glad that you're all here. Thank you for being here. Also, for preparation, if you're logging in, focus on that. That's great. Also, for preparation, I would recommend that you have something to write on. So here's what I'm going to do right now. I went through all these questions. I created the questions yesterday. I went through them with Kelvin and Travis yesterday. I think they're all in order, looking good. I've randomized the question order, so I'm not sure when they're going to come in, which is kind of randomized the answers, which is fantastic. And I haven't had a chance today to actually go through them and study them. Let me turn this up a little bit. There we go. Just a little background noise for you. I haven't had a chance to go and like mathematically go through them all again. I know all my answers are straight up, but here's what normal Keith would do. Keith would, I'm talking about myself in third person, I would go through all the questions right before going live and just make sure that I understood the math on them and how to get there. But this morning I've been recording all morning. I got up, took a shower. It was my week for a shower. Anyway, took a shower and started recording. I'm doing a thing on, what did I just finish? It's all not a blur. It's policy-based routing. How fun is that for CCNP level stuff for my full-time gig at CBT Nuggets? So I was doing that all in like 15 minutes ago. I swapped out all the gear, put it in. So these questions are going to feel pretty fresh to me as well. And also, I don't have a pen. Let me get a pen. So while you guys are logging on, 74 strong so far, I'm going to go grab Epic Pen real quick. So Epic Pen, the world's most popular screen tool, because I just realized I swapped out my computer. I don't have Epic Pen running on this. So I will download. I have a license for it. I'm going to go for the free one at the moment, just so I don't have to reveal my license code. I'm going to set it up, and that way I can use it just for this live stream. It's asking me for authentication. Great. I accept. Yes, yes, yes. Create a shortcut on the desktop. You bet. Why not? Install. And we'll have, because I just realized I'm going to want to annotate and draw on the screen. Launch. Okay, great. Epic Pen is great. So I have a license for it that I use, and it's great. Let me test it out real quick. And let me get out my pen. Oh no, oh no. Hold on a second. Oh, I have to synchronize my screen. Look at that. So what I'm doing is I have to let me pause that for a moment. Yeah, I haven't used a pen on the screen before, so it's a Wacom 22 HD. Little inside scoop while we do this, and I need to synchronize it. Let me see if I can do that real quick. If there's a Wacom utility. Oh. Well, if I can't do it, that's okay too. Control panel. And oh, I don't think I even have the tools installed. Wacom. Nope. All right, let me go get them real quick. So everybody, what we're doing is please join Kahoot. There is the number right there. And what I'll do is in a separate tab over here on the left, I will go ahead and get my Wacom tool so I can draw on the screen along with Epic Pen. So I'll put that in a separate tab so you guys can still focus on it. So enjoy the music for a minute, join the game, and I'll be right back. So I'm installing the drivers. Hopefully I won't have to do a reboot. Continue to join. I'll be right back. All right, good news, good news, good news. It said to reboot. I'm not rebooting. I do have my pen though, so I can actually annotate and we can talk after the questions. We've got about 93 people in the room. We're gonna go ahead and start. I'll have the login information at the bottom, so if you get bumped out or whatever, please feel free to come back in. Also, we're gonna have these every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So we are close to 100. Let's go ahead and start. Our focus today is IPv4 related stuff. And I'm going to put the headphones on so I can hear what you hear. All right. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and start. What is the URL for the Subnet Saturday playlist on YouTube? Now you get points for not only answering correctly, but how quickly you answer. Now this is something you have 60 seconds. You can actually test this if you want. So you can open another browser. Also, I would love your feedback if you've answered this question, which is great. If you give me feedback about the background noise, the music from Kahoot, if you'd like it louder or softer, just comment. If you don't need it up or down, you don't need to comment. But that way I can make sure I'm giving you the audio that you need. All right, here we go. 1 second left. All right. I'm going with the majority. 69 people said ogit.online/subnet. That playlist, by the way, will help you with virtually every question coming up. It starts off with the basics of IPv4. It is free. It's here on YouTube. I made a separate playlist for it. I think there's 11 sessions. You want to get good at subnetting? Check it out. Bookmark it. It'll be a great resource. All right. Amiable Raccoon crushed it. Scoreboard leader so far. Way to go. All right. Here we go. Question 2 of 13. What happens first when PC1 pings www.google.com? And if you're jumping on this, you may want to pause and think it through. Looking at the output for PC1 is going to be a huge clue here. Good old Bob. He's on PC1. His ARP cache is empty. He's going to ping www.google.com. There's 5 seconds left. What's going to happen? 82 answers, 85 answers pouring in. Oh my gosh. Woo. And it is ARP. It is ARP. Now, I totally get that DNS would have to be done before we go to google.com. DNS resolves the name to an IP address. I totally agree. However, to do the DNS, the first thing out of our mouth would be an ARP request from Bob's PC to figure out the layer 2 address for the default gateway because the ARP cache was empty. So is that a thinking question? Yeah, and most of you got it right. So way to go, way to go. Here we go. Question. Oh, scoreboard. Wise Elk. Way to go, Wise Elk. If that's you, awesome. In fact, if you're question 3 of 13, which IP address could be assigned to a new interface on this router, not just any router, on this router? If I'm giving you 90 seconds, that's when you'd want to say, oh, 90 seconds. I got to think about this. All right, I got some feedback on the music, making it softer. That has been done. I appreciate that feedback. I'll make a note of that for future streams. All right. Well, one of the benefits of Kahoot is it gives us feedback, and me also, about questions in a quiz that were answered in a certain way. And that also gives me information as a trainer on what I should look at in the future about that training. So I'm going to take these off because now I have my audio dialed in. Thank you for that feedback. Let's talk about this just for a moment. Let me grab a pen here. Oh, the picture's gone. Oh, nuts. The picture's gone of that device. Well, here's the concept. A router cannot have two interfaces in the same routing table. Let's just take the main routing table by default. It can't have two interfaces in the same subnet. So you can't have interface 1 and interface 2. So this question was really asking, based on the current interface it has and what subnet it's in, which of the other IP addresses available here, which was just this one, could be used, which were not in the same subnet. That's what this question was asking. And that's why it was tough. This is a hard question, but it's really about subnetting, about, first of all, knowing that you can't have two interfaces on a router in the same VRF, the same routing table, in this assigned to the same network. And so to solve that, you'd have to pick one of the IP addresses that was outside the subnet. So it involved identifying, based on the IP address and the mask, what subnet that interface was in, and then picking one of the answers from a different subnet that wouldn't overlap. Otherwise, you get a message saying, this IP address overlaps with interface XYZ. All right. That is one of the tougher ones, but I would say that's valid. That's like one of those situations where they step it back one level and give you some information and say, based on your knowledge of how this all works, what would be a valid address? All right, let me clear that off. And go back to the pointer. All right, next question. And Space Dog, 2982. Nice work, Space Dog. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm so glad that you're here. Multi-select, meaning choose more than just one answer. Which IP address would be appropriate for host in VLAN 10? Oh, it's another good one. We've got 80 seconds. I'll talk for just a moment. Need to identify what subnet is this interface in this multi-layer switch, and then based on that subnet, what's the range? And then which IP address says, plural, would fit in that range. And if you're new to IP subnetting, that's cool. You'll get this with practice and as you go through Subnet Saturdays. So have some patience with yourself. Paul CCNA saying that last one was less fun, or something was less fun. Okay. And Michael's saying can't hear you. Just to confirm that everybody else can hear me, can you just give me a little shout out saying, yep, I can hear you? And that way I confirm that it's, oh, he says my bad. Great, no problem. Fantastic. All right, we've got a few seconds left here, 20 seconds left. And the technique here is identifying what is the subnet that VLAN 10 is, interface VLAN 10 is on, what is the range for that subnet, and picking two or more IP addresses that are in that same subnet. Okay, there are the two correct answers. The 10.00.65 and the 10.00.126 are both in the same subnet as that interface. So I will save this in the live stream, so you can go back to these questions if you'd like in the recordings that'll be on YouTube, and just go through them and verify what the addresses are, do the math on them, take a little more time. 90 seconds is pretty tight. Now in the CCNA exam, there's like 100-ish questions, maybe 102 or something like that. And you're given quite a bit of time, but you certainly don't want to take 10 minutes or even 5 minutes on any single question, because that could skew some of your time management for the rest of it. All right. All right, great feedback. Moving forward, here we go. Wow, Space Dog, still on top. All right, let's go ahead, and here's the next question, 5 of 13. What geographical location are you joining us from? I am interested. Just go ahead and type in your answer. You can put in the state or city, or country, planet. I'm assuming Earth. That's great. Love to find out where you're all from, get a little bit of feedback. And this will put it into a nice creative way that we can all see it as well. Oh, I'm excited. What is it going to be? It is. I really am looking forward to this. Liverpool, Quebec, India, Argentina, Spain, California, India. India is in the house representing. Awesome. So glad to have everybody here. So no matter where you're calling or gaming from for this game, tell your friends. Get a few more. Make a party of it. Every Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, get out your world clock calendar. If you're in India, you got that whole half-hour difference thing. And if you're in India, you're saying, no, Keith, no. It's not us that has the half-hour difference thing. It's the rest of, it's you. But no matter where you're from, get out your world clock, tell your friends, join us for this game, and have a lot of fun doing it. So I am super glad. Illinois, Trinidad, Hawaii, Florida, Morocco, South Africa, Abu Dhabi, Europe, Pacific Northwest. I'm so glad to have so many people here. I grew up in Southern California, for those people who are from California, so my heart's with you guys too. All right, you want a subnet and support 30 hosts per subnet. What is the optimal mask? Meaning, leave just enough host bits and no more. That's the question here. And if you're getting out your fingers, that's a good move. You want to support 30 hosts per subnet. And I got a picture of a whole bunch of people with their thumbs up. Boom. Here we go. Man, there's so many people on /27. So here's how I would do it. I would say, well, I need 30 hosts. Get out my fingers. How many bits? How many host bits to get 30? That's not enough. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. 5 bits. I just say, well, if I have 32 bits in total, minus 5, what's left over? How long would my mask be? /27. And good job. Really, really good job. Okay. And Space Dog. Oh my gosh. I think I have a clue who Space Dog is. All right. Moving on. Question 7 of 13. You're doing great. Hang in there. Multi-select. More than one answer. What other addresses are on the same network as a computer that has the IP address 10.0.35.90 with a /23. So the math here is, what network is that? What is the range for that network? And then pick 2 or more addresses that are on that same network. I see Kelvin's comment. I do, actually. Yep. I believe Kelvin Tran is Space Dog. All right, looking at the comments. And Kieran says it's me. I'm interested to see who that is. We'll see how it ends. Now, just to be fair, Trevor and Kelvin both helped me proof these questions yesterday, so they had a heads up on what the answers were. All right, 22 seconds left. Oh. All right. So Kelvin says he's in the middle of automating VMware. So maybe he's not even playing. So that's great. Either way, it's great. All right, moving forward. What other addresses are on the same network? Wow. 72 out of you nailed it. Fantastic. Well, and then there's 48 of you that nailed the second one. Also fantastic. So here's how I would approach that. I would say, okay, 10.0.35.90/23. What is that subnet? And we've taken a look in Subnet Saturdays at how to determine what that is. What is the block size? With the /23, that block size is 2. And I would list out the subnets. So it'd be the 34 subnet, the 36 subnet, the 38 subnet, what the ranges are, and say, oh, boom, boom, those two are in the range. So .35 and .34 both in the range. .33 is too low, .36 is too high. But it comes out of just chopping it up. What's the network? What's the block size? And all of that is in these Subnet Saturday courses. So great job, great job. And if you're not getting all these perfect, now is the time. Now is the time to go through that playlist, Subnet Saturdays. It's free. And go one video at a time. There's 11, I believe, and just get the skills. And then when you come back to this, think, oh yeah, I can definitely do that. Because in Cisco certification, they are going to test your knowledge at, I would say, this level about how do you understand IP addressing and subnetting. And they're not just going to ask I would consider level 1 questions like very, very simple things. They're going to ask you to apply it with some output, and as a result, what other IP addresses would work and so forth. All right, Space Dog. Is that Kieran? If that's Kieran, that's amazing. That's great. Space Dog is doing great. Everybody who's participating is doing great. Just being here, you're doing great. Fantastic. And next, Kieran, if that's you, my hat's off. All right, starting with the /22, what new mask would be used to create 5 new subnets with the most possible hosts? So I'm not asking about how many host bits are left over. I'm just saying, what's the minimum number of bits above and beyond the /22 to create 5 new subnets? And then I got the cute, the cute animal with the mask. All right, so here's how I would do that one. I would say, well, I need 5 new subnets. How many additional bits do I need? 2, 4, 8. That'll be enough. So our fingers represent bits, covered in the finger game in the Subnet Saturdays. So I got 3 bits. So I would need 3 more bits. So if I start with a /22, 23, 24, 25, my new mask would be a /25. I hit the green button, or the green answer in this quiz at the moment, and I'm good to go. All right, all that again is in the Subnet Saturday. Please enjoy that playlist on YouTube for free. Okay. And Space Dog just won't yield. Love it. Good job. If that's Karen again, good job. All right. I have a nephew named Kieran, by the way. It's a great name. All right. Bob is on PC1. If Bob pings PC2, what is true about the ARP cache on PC1? That's Bob's computer. And I got a question asking if I could move that strip over a bit. Just clarify for me, Citizen Perkins, what strip do you need me to move? And I'll be happy to. Please put it on the left side, please. Oh, this strip. Yes. Thank you. Sorry about that. How about right there? Will that work? Thank you. All right. Eknor and Rolando in the house. PJ. Thank you for the feedback and the request, by the way. I can go ahead and actually hide that if I'm not using it. All right, Bob's on PC1, pings PC2. What's true about the ARP cache on PC1? You got it, PJ. Thanks for the feedback. That's I love connecting and I love finding out what helps. 15 seconds left. It's like New Year's. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go to bed. Very tired after New Year's. All right. It would include the MAC address of the default gateway. What's up with that? 22 of you got that right. So way to go. Those IP addresses, if you go back and look at the recording, they are on different subnets, which would imply they were in different VLANs. Which would imply that the MAC address from one in VLAN whatever would never see the MAC address from the other guy. It would be a route request to its default gateway, and then it would be a forwarding by the router to that next subnet. And the only way you'd know that is identifying the masks and the IP addresses involved and saying, hey, those guys are not in the same subnet. So the ARP cache would have the default gateway for PC1, because it would have used that to forward the frame at layer 2 to its default gateway, who would make a routing decision. Is that kind of a mean question? Yeah, it is. A little bit mean question. You have to think. I love that about the Cisco exam. They did require me on a lot of these questions in the exam to think, not just, oh, boom. Oh, boom. It was like, oh, oh, boom. In fact, there was one question I had where I thought, oh, I love this question. I answered it. And the next morning in the showering, I thought, oh, I got that wrong. Because I was thinking about, they showed me two configs and they said, what would happen if these two devices were connected in this way? And I thought, oh yeah, I know, boom. And I was like, nope. So anyway, fun times. Next. Okay, climbing the scoreboard. Here we go. Question 10 of 13. We are almost done, my friends. What is the best way to configure IPv4 addresses for hosts and make sure they have addresses in the right subnet? What is the best way? And the key word here is IPv4. And I'm going to listen to a little jam and music. Oh, just missed it. All right, awesome. DHCP. NDP, Neighbor Discovery Protocol, is IPv6. Slack is IPv6. APIPA is when you get that 169 IPv4 address because it can't find a DHCP server. So great job. Most people got that right. Okay, I think we have just two more, and then we'll call it quits until next Sunday, Pacific time, 11 a.m., and we'll do more with a new topic. All right, 11 of 13. How many hosts can be supported in a /28? Okay, so the way I would roll with that is if you have 28 bits being used by the network, 29, 30, 31, 32, that means there's 4 bits for host bits. So 2, 4, 8, 16 possible combinations for host bits, but you can't use the broadcast or the actual network, so that lowers it to 14, which is the answer there. All right, great job. And, oh, we're so close to the end. You guys have all been great. Thank you for joining us from all over the planet. It is fantastic to have everybody here. Second to last, the penultimate question. Which of the following are addresses in network 10.0.3.0 with a /25-bit mask? All right, a lot of great answers there. Fantastic. Let's do a little walkthrough on that one just for reinforcement. So if now in the CCNA certification environment, if you take it at home, you don't get a paper and pencil, you can't have anything sitting there to write with, but they give you a digital one. So you click on a little digital notepad, you can type, you can draw with your mouse if you're good at that, but you have some scratch work, but it's all digital so they can see it, they know what you're doing. So here's how I would approach that one. Which of the following are addresses in this network? At first of all, I'll say, well, the mask is into the 4th octet, so I do this. Not that color. Not that color, Keith. 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. And I'll tell you what, as a double CCIE, when I'm taking a certification exam, you can be darn sure if I'm getting subnetting questions related to this, I will put that up there as a reference point so I don't jump at the wrong answer. So those are the values of the weights for each of the bits in an octet. And we're focusing on the fourth octet, so I'd say third octet is that way. There's a period there. There's the fourth octet going that way. Making sure my head's not in the way. Let me move my head down. I'll leave my head there. Oh, it's a 128. I'll be fine. Okay, so then I'd say, okay, great. So for this mask, in that fourth octet, it'd be 24 bits plus one more. So there's the mask. I'll just draw the whole thing out. And there's the dividing line between network and hosts. So my block size is 128. And this has all been taught in Subnet Saturdays. So the block size is 128. So my subnets for that fourth octet are going to be 0 and 128. So that'd be 10.03.0, which is this network, and the next one would be 128. So the range would be .1 for that last octet. Oh yeah, I need to move my face. So sorry. Let me get my face out of there. I usually have shortcuts for all these, but I will go to the pointer. It's like, Keith, don't hide the work. Don't hide the work. All right, much better. All right, so the 0 network would be .1 through .126. So it's 2 less than the next subnet, and that's because the last valid IP address, or last IP address is the broadcast address. So that's the range, and then from 128 would be .129 through 254, and that's the 2 subnets based on this mask. And then the question is, which of the following addresses are in this network? So anything from 1 to 126. So that works, and that works, and this guy's too high, and that guy's too high. They're both higher than 129. So the key here, and let me bring back my, let me clear that off. And put my face back on there. The key here is most of these questions that you'll be asked to answer are not just straight up, they're taking it one level deeper like this. You notice that the ranges didn't match. They weren't like perfect. It wasn't, what's the exact range? It was like, which range of addresses fit into this network space? But if you take the time and figure out what the network is, you draw out the ranges, whether you're using a notepad or you're doing it with a little scratch pad they give you on a computer, you can do it. And I would recommend taking the few moments to do it to get it right every time. And you guys, most of you got these correct with the 2 that we just walked through. Great job. I think we have Space Dog. Oh my gosh, crushing it. All right, last question. Here it is. Multiple select. Which IP address would be matched by the route 10.0.3.192 with a /28-bit mask? And this is multiple choice, so grab all that apply. All right, last question, no pressure. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2. All right, so I got 25 of you with one of the wrong answers. But once again, I'd like to take a moment and walk you through how I would solve this. Let me bring my face over there. Let me just hide my face. Let's do that. All right, let's take a moment and just sort through how I'd answer this, or how we could pursue this if we were asked. So it says route, but what it really is saying is which IP addresses live in that network address space. That's what it really says. And so if we have 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Here's what you may discover too. You may discover that as you write these values out for each of the bits in an octet of data, that it reminds you of a process that you can follow to get your mind going. Like, oh, I have no idea. Well, let's start out by writing out the power. So /28 goes into the 4th octet. So this is the 3rd octet going left. We're dealing with the 4th octet. I always jot that down just to remind myself where the heck I am. And then it's a /28. So 24 bits up to this point, 25, 26, 27, 28, stop, draw the big line. I put a block around that number, the least significant bit of the mask that's on. That reminds me what the block size is. So then with this /28, 4, 26, wow, okay. So now, so actually this is the network. I don't even have to guess. I was like, oh, I got to figure out, this isn't a host address, this is a route. So I know that it's 192 is the network, and the next network is going to be 192 plus the block size. I'm going to do this longhand. So that's 8. It'd be a 0, 6, 7, 8. Oh, at 0 and a 10 and a 2. So the next subnet is 208. So the range for this bad boy is going to be 193 through 206, which is the next subnet minus 2. And this next subnet is going to be 208 and higher. And the previous subnet is going to be 191 and lower. So now that I know the range of the subnet, I just look for the IP addresses. 200, yep. And 195, yep. And 205, yep. And 210, nope, that's in the next subnet. And literally, that's how this very methodical person named Keith Barker would do it. I would just walk through it step by step, and that's how I'd roll it. So now you can do that too if you want. And all those techniques as far as how to get there, those are all in Subnet Saturday, all of them, step by step. So if you're brand new to IPv4, tell your friends that, hey, let's learn IPv4 together. Start out with the first video, just walk through it systematically, step by step. You'll be able to do all of these just based on a few techniques. And one of the things I've never done, intentionally, I've never done this, we don't talk about powers of 2. And that whole subnetting thing, I'm not bringing up Boolean logic and ANDing and ORing and the math with the bits or powers of 2, because I find that there's some people that's are gonna fall off the edge. So I have a way of teaching it where it's just, you can solve any of these problems if you can write out 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and you can use your fingers, you're good to go. All right, let's take a look and see who conquered this beast. Fuzzy Lion, 3rd place. Captain Deer, 2nd place. And Space Dog. All right. And I'm gonna bring up the chat window here, and I'm gonna play down the music just a little bit. And let me bring in the chat so you can see these. That way I can look here. Let me bring over my face. All right, here we go. Let me actually turn down the music all the way. A little bit. I'll take off my headphones. All right. Well, I had a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I had fun putting this together. I think we have, I don't know, a couple hundred people in the room playing. We can support up to 2,000, so please bring, let me show. Oh, wow. Hide. All right, so SCP Foundation. Be careful, man. Yeah, so I would be aware, I'm gonna hide this too. So be aware of language, if you would, on the channel in general. It's filtering most of that. And also, I want to make sure that this is a very safe place for everybody. So if you have strong emotions, you can use words like dang or darn or, things like that. That'd be great. I've had a great time in this game with you. I appreciate it. So every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific, we'll have another one. Our last one was on OSPF. This one was on IPv4 and subnetting to some degree. If you would like to chat, what I'd like to do is have you join us in the Discord server, and I'll be there in probably 2 or 3 minutes. Just go to the CCNA voice chat room. And if usually we have a lot of regulars that show up there, I appreciate that. I want to give a shout out to the admins on Discord, which are Kelvin and Trevor, and all the moderators who do a great job of helping. If you do join the Discord channel, which we'd love you to do, there is a set of rules. Make sure you agree to those. They basically say be a nice person and avoid topics that are going to be sensitive to others. And if you agree to them, we'd love to have you. So we're going to go in the voice chat room here in just a few minutes and continue. But as far as Kahoot and these practice quizzes, we're going to do it every week. I don't know what the exact topic will be for next week, but we did previously OSPF. This one was IPv4. And I'm going to do the more important ones, I think, that are really take some practice. It's like the benefit of flashcards and gamification all built into one. And the fact that we had 200 plus people here today is a great sign. So welcome your friends for the next one. I'll put it on social what that topic will be. And I look forward to seeing you in Discord, if you can join us there, or in the next live event, wherever it happens to be. The goal of this channel, the Keith Barker YouTube channel, is to give you tools and tips today to help you get your CCNA. So thanks for joining me, everybody, and I'll catch you in the next live event. Bye for now.